Let's start by saying that there are two truths. The first truth is the ultimate truth, which is beyond appearances. It has always existed and will always exist. It is in harmony with the laws that govern nature. The second truth is the common truth, or the semi-truth. It might be true today and stop being so tomorrow. It might be true for some and false for others. It is necessary that we differentiate between these two truths. And the difficulty in this differentiation of the two truths resides in the multiple common truths or semi-truths, which are in general merely circumstantial at best, since they are subject to points of view that are limited by cultural, historical, or ideological differences. We're reading from Genesis 1, King James Version. Verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Okay, it starts off saying, in the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Okay, in the beginning, the point in time or space where something starts. God, the creator, according to religions, created. Create means to bring something into existence, cause something to happen, or to originate. So in the beginning, God, the Creator, created the heaven and the earth. And this is an account of the creation, according to the Bible. Verse 2. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Okay. The earth had no form, and it was void. It was completely empty. And darkness, the partial or total absence of light, was upon the face of the deep. The face is the surface of a thing that is presented to view. So total darkness was on the surface of the deep, the waters. So there was nothing but the total absence of light and water. And right there it said, and the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. Verse 3. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God said, let there be light, and there was light. Or he could have said, let there be life, and there was life, because light and life are synonymous. You need light to sustain life, and if you had no life, what would you need light for? As Jesus referred to it in John 8:12, walking in the light of life. Verse 4. And God saw the light, that it was good, and God divided the light from the darkness. So the Creator saw that the light was good, and he divided the light from the darkness. The light came out of the darkness, and he divided the two. And now the two do not occupy the same space. Verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night, and the evening and the morning were the first day. After he separated the light from the darkness, he called the light day, and the darkness he called night. So we went from light and darkness to day and night. So daylight was the first gift from the Creator on the first day of creation. Verse 6. And God said, let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it divide the waters from the waters. Okay, I'm using the blue dry towel as the water, and the upside down salad bowl as the firmament for my illustration. You have this word firmament, also known as vault, expanse, canopy, rakia, tent, dome, tabernacle, ceiling, sky, and heaven. Let's look at the root word of firmament, which is firm, having a solid, almost unyielding surface or structure. The word firmament literally means heaven, or the sky, when regarded as tangible. Tangible meaning an actual structure that can be touched. So the Creator began his construction of this structure in the midst of the waters. In the midst is the middle point. So, you see the middle point here? This is where he began. And the pencil is where he divided the waters from the waters. This is where he set the foundation of his creation. Proverbs 8:27, when he set a compass upon the face of the waters. Other biblical texts translate it as he inscribed a circle on the face of the waters. In Isaiah 22:18, he used the word ball where it was appropriate. And in Isaiah 40:22, he used the word circle where it was appropriate. These are divided bodies of water today that do not and have not mixed. And this is in accordance for when he said, let it divide the waters from the waters. Verse 7, and God made the firmament and divided the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament. And it was so. Rakia, an extended solid surface, expanse, or firmament, considered by the Hebrews as solid and supporting the waters above. The Hebrews were not alone in this knowledge of creation and of the firmament. So this illustration shows the waters above the firmament and the waters below the firmament. This is my dry towel and upside down salad bowl showing the waters which were under the firmament. This is the dry towel over the salad bowl showing the waters above the firmament. And this is a half view showing the firmament, the waters above it, and the waters below it. Verse 8, and God called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning were the second day. So the solid dome tent-like structure that he constructed, he called it the firmament. I thought this was interesting. What I did here was I put my camera inside the upside down salad bowl with the blue dry towel over the upside down salad bowl and took a picture. This picture of the inside of my upside down salad bowl with the blue dry towel over it doesn't look too different from the blue sky that we see outside every day. Here are some random pictures of our sky. Earth's firmament is our sky. Did you ever wonder why the sky is blue? Why do you think they say the sky is the limit? Did you ever wonder why a rainbow is shaped like a dome? The formation of rainbows occur when sunlight is split into its component colors, when it refracts through the water droplets that are suspended in air. Unlike a prism that splits a beam of light using an artificial light source onto an opaque surface, natural sunlight is required to make a rainbow. A rainbow projects a well-defined arc that manifests in a 3D airspace and moves relative to the position of the observer. At the right altitude or position on the Earth, it is possible to see a full halo rainbow. You can also tell by the inverted color spectrum that the sun is definitely reflecting off of something that is round. The rainbow is the token of a covenant, and this is a sign of God. And this sign has been hijacked by some that oppose God. And this is according to the scriptures. Verse 9, and God said, let the waters under the heaven be gathered together unto one place, and let the dry land appear, and it was so. Okay, here I added green and white felt to my project to represent the waters under the heaven being gathered together and the 7 land masses. This is the bottom of a globe, or the southern hemisphere. Antarctica is the white land mass in the center. And you have the southern coast of 3 land masses that are the closest to Antarctica. They are the southern coast of South America, Africa, and Australia. But this does not fit the narrative. Okay, let's recap. First, Darkness was upon the face of the waters, and then we had daylight. Then he inscribed a circle separating the waters to begin his construction of the firmament. Now he's gathering water together and allowing dry land to appear under the firmament. When I said this was Antarctica, I lied. This is Antarctica, 360-degree ice wall. You can still see the three land masses that are closest to Antarctica: the southern coast of South America, Africa, and Australia. All bodies of water require a container. When it comes to the oceans, this container is called Antarctica. The Antarctic ice wall is said to be 150 to 200 feet tall, with a 50,000-mile circumference and an average temperature of minus 57 degrees Fahrenheit. Let the waters under the heaven be gathered together, and let dry land appear. And it was so. The earth is 70% water and 30% land. Water needs to be contained. The story of Noah and the flood makes more sense using the true model of creation. You can flood this. Try to flood a ball. Antarctica, the 360-degree ice wall. Hitherto shalt thou come, but no further. Why do you think it's called the Antarctic Circle? Verse 10. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. And God saw that it was good. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas. Now this is my illustration, and this is what I was going for. This is our earth. Earth has 7 land masses. They are North America, South America, Africa, Eurasia, Australia, the Arctic or the North Pole, and Antarctica. And it says, and the gathering together of the waters called he seas, plural. So you have one body of water that consists of 7 seas. The truth in plain sight. Verse 11. And God said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after its kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. Verse 12. And the earth brought forth grass, and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind, and God saw that it was good. Verse 13. And the evening and the morning were the 3rd day. Verse 14. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And God said, let there be lights in the firmament of heaven. Notice that in the beginning of creation, he said, let there be light. Now he's saying, let there be lights, plural, in the firmament of heaven. These lights are the sun, moon, and stars. They are in and within the firmament. And he has specific purposes for these lights. One purpose is to divide the day from the night. The sun and moon were made for that task. The sun and moon orbit above the earth every day as we have seen it do so since our births. The opposers of creation have us thinking like this. The opposers of God say that we live on a spinning ball. The normal people think very unnaturally. They tell us that day and night work like this. On the top example, and if we lived on the earth as described in the Bible, it would not work like this, as illustrated in the bottom example. But in reality, it works like this. Another purpose is to let them be for signs. A sign gives you hints or is an indication of something. A sign gives information, instructions, or directions. When you sign something with your signature, it defines oneself as the author or the authority. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. That's a sign and a signature of his existence and his handiwork. And let them be for signs. All compasses point north, to the center of creation, which is the Arctic. It's something about the Arctic, the North Pole, with them northern lights known as the Aurora Borealis. This is a spectacular natural light show visible in the Arctic. This area has no light pollution and clear skies, and it's perfect for this natural light display in the Earth's sky. The auroras display dynamic patterns of glowing lights with vibrant hues of blue, green, pink, and violet, dancing across the night sky that appear as curtains, rays, spirals, or brilliant flickers of light covering the entire sky. Polaris, the North Star, is directly above the Arctic. So from anywhere on Earth, Polaris is the highest, brightest star in the center of rotation, in the center of the firmament, in the center of the Earth. So wherever you are on Earth, if you can see the North Star, Polaris, you know that that is the direction to go in to head north. To walk away with your back to Polaris in any direction is to head south. To walk with your right shoulder trained on Polaris is to head west. And to walk with your left shoulder trained on Polaris is to head east. With Polaris in the center and the other stars in their uniquely fixed positions, you can tell exactly where you are on Earth. That's how the ancient mariners knew how to navigate the oceans. And it's the same way today with radar technology. It's good to know star maps and how they work in case this technology fails. That's how the lights are for signs as far as giving information, instructions, or directions. Another purpose is for seasons, for days, and for years. The sun tells you what time it is, the moon tells you what day it is, and the stars tell you what month it is. Verse 15, and let them be for lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. And it was so. And for them to be lights in the firmament of heaven to give light upon the earth. So we are never in total darkness, for we experience the partial absence of light at nighttime due to the stars and the moon's illumination. Verse 16, and God made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also. So God made two great lights, the sun and the moon, that he placed in the firmament for the earth. They orbit the heavens of the earth with equal dimensions and opposite characteristics, the greater of which is the sun, the Son of God. As long as I am in the world, I am the light of the world. Like a champion rejoicing to run his course. Every morning, the sun blesses us with warmth and sunlight as he walks across the waters of the earth. The sun in all its glory illuminates the beauty of the creation. Then came the Son of God forth, wearing a crown of thorns, or sun rays, Here you have the street light and its rays and the sunlight and its rays. The sunlight's rays point to the location of the sun, just like the street light's rays point to the location of the street light. The sun rays produce local heat spots and angles to the sun that show that the sun is close. The sun is close. If the sun were far, those rays would look like the photo on the right, which is wrong. But that would be the result if the sun were this far away. On the left, you have vertical rays with a distant light source, and on the right, you have angled rays with the local light source. Distant or local. Make it make sense. This is the location of the sun every 28 days for 13 months, photographed at the same place and at the same time. He made the lesser light to rule the night, the mysterious moon acting as a night light. The cool light of the moon illuminates the night sky as she shows off her phases. There are 28 phases of the moon. The phases of the moon are constant, day after day, month after month. This is the lunar calendar for 2021. These are the 4 quarters of the waxing, waning, primary, and antithetical stages of the moon. This is the moon photographed over 28 days at the same place and at the same time. Some believe that the moon phases are like rechargeable batteries, with the charging phase and the self-illuminating moon in phases. 14 days of charging and 14 days of self-illumination. The moon is translucent. The moon takes on the color of the sky behind it. Personally, it reminds me of the old 7-segment digital display. This digital 8 can turn to 88 and so on and so forth. By illuminating certain segments of the display, you have 10 phases that are 0 through 9, and they can be numbered to infinity. He made the stars also. Stars bedazzle the firmament, the night sky and all of its splendor, as it gives light upon the earth. This is what we're used to seeing when we look at the night sky or photos of the night sky. But this is what stars really look like. Our limited eyesight and photos are at the top, and at the bottom, 83 times optical zoom. So this is the sun, producer of sunlight, and these are stars. The stars seem to be thrown sporadically throughout the sky. But that is not so. The stars are precisely set in the sky or set in the firmament. They are named, they are in constellations. They do not break rank from their fixed positions in the firmament. Verse 17, and God set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth. Set means to be fixed in a specified place or position, or mounted as a precious stone. So we're talking about lights in the sky. The greater and lesser light are within the firmament. They are the sun and the moon. And the fixed stars and the wandering stars are in the firmament. This is Polaris, the North Star, directly above the Arctic. This is Polaris highlighted. Polaris rotates at the very top center of the firmament. Polaris, the North Star, is directly above the Arctic on the North Pole axis. Polaris remains fixed while all other stars rotate 24-hour circles around it. The stars near Polaris rotate rather slowly, but those further and further away rotate progressively faster. Polaris will be here at the center of rotation of the stars. Polaris will be here at the center of rotation. Imagine a decorated car rim spinning. Polaris will be at the zenith, and the sky rotates around us. And Polaris, the North Star, rotates on the axis, while all the other stars rotate around the axis. Just like a rotating Christmas tree's ornaments rotate around the pole of the Christmas tree, and the star on top rotates on top of the pole of the Christmas tree. Or just like a maypole, with the ball on top of the maypole and the people revolving around the maypole. Or carousel. Beautiful night sky. This is a time-lapse camera set at a high speed showing the actual star trails around Polaris, or the North Star. This is an example of the rotation that makes the perfect circles around Polaris. Who stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them out like a tent to dwell in? What the book says and what the opposers of the book have to say. This is a star chart. It maps the coordinates of the stars and constellations on the firmament. These are stars that are set in fixed locations and have never strayed. This is an example of the rotation that makes the perfect circles around Polaris. At the top is a star chart like the ones that we have been viewing. From the top, at a God's eye view, or from the ground up. But from the side, it's a dome. Polaris is in the middle of the star chart. Some are very detailed, and some are less detailed. Some highlight major constellations, but there are other constellations in the sky also. This is the menagerie in the northwest. This is another view. These are the constellations personified. These are the stars of the zodiac constellations in photography. These are the constellations of the zodiac in CGI illustration. These are the zodiac constellations as they are set in the firmament. Polaris will be here. This is the personification of Orion. This is the star constellation of Orion. The three stars of Orion's belt are very popular. They are in perfect alignment with the Great Pyramids of Giza. The stars of Orion's belt were there way before the pyramids. This is Sirius, the star in the east. The three stars of Orion's belt better known as the Three Kings, follow the star in the east, Sirius, to the birth of God's son. Who'd have thunk that so much of the scriptures is astrological? Here you see Ursa Major and Ursa Minor, also known as the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper, and Polaris. This is a better view of the Big Dipper and the Little Dipper in relation to Polaris. This is the movement of the Big Dipper every 3 months through all 4 seasons around Polaris. And this is another one of those "and let them be for signs" that has been hijacked by the opposers of God. The swastika is the pattern that Ursa Major makes seasonally around Polaris. These are stars with a Nikon P900. Twinkle, twinkle, little star. Have you ever noticed how the stars flicker and twinkle? The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. This is a sign. This is another sign. The stars are lights in the water. The truth is beautiful. This is what they look like when they're in focus, and this is what they look like when they are not in focus. You gotta understand that this is all taken at 83 times optical zoom. High-tech optics. Reflector telescope, refractor telescope, and Nikon P900. Here you have the raw, unedited image, and you have the processed image. Ta-da! Here you have the final computer-generated image. This is Mars, Neptune, and Uranus. At the bottom is all cartoons. Computer-generated images. This is Arcturus, the red giant. This is the same star shot with a Nikon P900 and a refracting telescope. Why do they tell us that this big red beach ball is Arcturus, the red giant, and this little bitty ball over here is our sun? These side-by-side comparisons, bogus. Go get you a Nikon P900 and see for yourself. They all look round, right? But are they all spheres? How will we know? What if I told you that there's only one object that is not spherical? Can you tell what it is? Can you tell me how you knew it? Nope. Convex, not spherical. Nope. Flat, two-dimensional, not spherical. Nope. Concave, not spherical. Okay, there you have it. The stars are sonoluminescent. They are cymatic lights. This is Jupiter, the Nikon P900 image, and NASA's computer-generated image. This is NASA's computer-generated image of Mars, and the real Mars taken with a Nikon P900. This is testable, observable, and repeatable. This is CGI Venus and the real Venus. Look how they flicker. This is Venus at night. I guess it's calm. They look like waves. Here you have more wandering stars. The stars in heaven are literally in the waters above in the solid dome firmament. The Bible confirms what our eyes see. As above, so below. This is another sign. These are bowls of water placed on speakers to demonstrate the effects of vibrations on water. These are wandering stars, also known as planets. These are the orbital paths of the 7 wandering stars. They are not fixed in the firmament. They individually move about like spirograph configurations. They are not fixed, but they still revolve around the axis of the North Pole and the North Pole star Polaris. These are more wandering stars that they told us were planets with their computer-generated images, but I didn't see that in the Bible. But what I have read is that those wandering stars were given the names of Greek gods when they were changed from wandering stars into planets. Okay, this is a summary of my objective to give the gist of describing the true earth through biblical scripture. The earth is a circle, Isaiah 40:22. Made with the compass, Proverbs 8:27. Laid upon a face, Genesis 1:2. Which is bounded, Job 26:10. At its ends, Job 38:13. It does not move, Psalm 93:1. And is covered by a dome, Genesis 1:6-8. Containing the sun, moon, and stars, Genesis 1:14-18. Which are revolving, Enoch 75:3-4. Above and below is water, Genesis 1:6-8. Verse 18. And to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. The true earth, the flat earth, is described in the Bible. It validates the Bible. It's scientifically proven. It points to God alone as creator. Blows Satan's deceptions wide open. Verse 19. And the evening and the morning were the fourth day. There you have it. And that was the fourth day of creation. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment.